Hello.
Welcome to our channel. Hello, Susie.
Hello, Malissia, and welcome to everybody that's joining us out in YouTube land.
Hmm. So today we're going to be talking about illusion and what that illusion is coming up in the world and in ourselves right now. We're going to start with a centering exercise. So as you come into this video and into this discussion and topic, it helps center you into alignment in yourself and into this topic so that what comes up in you naturally is aligned and blessed. So we're going to start with that and then jump into our topic. So welcome. Susie, let us take a breath in. And as we breathe in, I'm going to spray some sage and just center and create a space. If you'd like to light a candle or you'd like to burn some incense, anything that is centering and a space creating for you, you can do that now. Breathing in and breathing out, coming home to ourselves. I'm going to light this candle. And when I light a candle, I honor it with honoring myself and my ancestors in this present moment. So I simply light it in honor of this present moment in this time together. Breathing in, breathing out. Now, as we feel ourselves coming home to this moment, feel your breath start to deepen as you center and ground into the space you're in, into the earth below, into the air around you, into the sky above you. Feel as if there is a string on top of your head pulling you up, all the way up the spine, and at the same time, there's a string that is centered in the grounding of the earth that is pulling you into it in a centering, grounding, secure, and home feeling. So it aligns you all the way up and all the way through, grounding you into the earth for spaciousness. Breathing into that feeling. Let's do 2 more breaths. Now bringing your attention to your heart and your last breath. Bringing your attention to your heart as if it's a doorway and you're simply expanding in the heart space and opening up that space. Spaciousness of you through your heart. Now, in this grounded and wonderfully expansive space, we call in and say, thank you, thank you, thank you, sweet spirit, for this time together. We are so grateful to come together, Susie and I, and all who join us to
Mhm.
discuss the beautiful expansion and presence of illusion. As we come together, we know that everything that is needed to be said is said so with ease and clarity, and whatever is meant to receive is received with ease and joy and upliftment, with new wisdom that aligns and brings more peace, more clarity, and more joy to all of our lives as we step boldly forward into the transformation and evolution of our existence and beingness. As we is right here, we know that alignment is our assignment, and in gratitude we come together to discuss all the beautiful ways that is unfolding. And so it is.
Mm, beautiful. Thank you. And
Thank
so
you,
it
Susie.
is that beautiful place of is.
So, what would you say is happening with you this last week and coming up recently around the idea of illusion and the illusion that is life that we're in, that we create, the illusion of perception, as opposed to the illusion of reality? What is that for you right now?
Wow. Yeah. Look, you know, illusion has been something I've known in here for a long while about, the physical world really is all happening inside of our consciousness. However, in the last week or so, I've really noticed almost a fading away of the outside. Um, I was actually driving my car. I've been traveling quite a bit the last couple of weeks, and I looked outside and I looked around at the beautiful hills and the valleys and the green grass and the trees. Everywhere is lush. It's springtime here in Australia, and I really was in appreciation. And I looked out and I just knew, that it was all illusion. And, I was tangibly driving, so I was grounded in this physical plane, but I was in so much appreciation and I kept saying, thank you. What a beautiful illusion, I've managed to create around me. What a beautiful space that I get to play in, knowing that it's an illusion, but it's there for my enjoyment. And it was such a tangible experience. And, probably for half an hour, I kept looking around and thinking, oh, this is the illusion of a tree. There's the illusion of the road. There's an illusion of another car, and it was really life-changing. It uh, it's really hard to put into words because it was an inner feeling, but I just knew, like I knew that I was living in a world all of my own creation. And what about you? I know you've had a lot of experiences too.
Well, yeah, this week has been so amazing. I'd say the last 10 days have, you know, I don't know about you and anybody who happens to be watching this, that, there's the idea of illusion that we've heard maybe most of our lives, certainly in the last, say, spiritual awakening of ourselves, anything that as you're really evolving and stepping into more new thought, new age, new experiences, even if you're somebody who, you're very aligned with your Christianity or your Catholicism, whether you're Islam, whether you're Sufi, whether you're Buddhist, there's an idea, there's an illusion. And so there's a perception of illusion. And then there's this really unfolding and awakening of the reality of illusion. And I'm going to separate those for myself because the perception of illusion I've been with for a long time of like, yes, yes, I know it's all an illusion, but I'm living in it. So it's certainly real to me. I'm in this. I'm holding this candle. I'm here. This is me. And then there's a perception of illusion of what all the spiritual texts will tell us. Oh, this is an illusion. It's Maya. It's you know, you can go beyond this. It's just something to transcend. And that's all well and good in your spiritual practice. And then you go to work the next day, or you're out with friends, or something bad happens. Maybe you have a car wreck, feel like that didn't feel like an illusion. But then there's what has been unfolding really recently, and I feel like it's been unfolding longer. Once you're in it, you feel like, when did it start? Like it feels like it's forever. But I really can pin it down to say these last 10 days has been a real awakening of the reality of illusion,
Mm.
where it's much more in line with those spiritual teachings of the teachers who experienced it. And therefore, it's almost unteachable. You can only be the finger pointing at the moon, as Buddha would say. I can't give you the moon. I can't give this experience to you. I can only point you in the direction of, I am not your guru. You can pray to me, you can think of me, you can do all the things, but you're missing the experience of becoming me if you are looking to me for your answers. I can't give you the answers, I can't teach it to you, but you can experience it to such a degree that you, like it can point people in the direction and realize it's pretty much unteachable because it's only experienceable. And in that experience that I'm starting to awaken to, I've had some really specific instances, like like when you were driving, is that I heard it in my head when I was, dealing with a weight issue with getting on my scale, and then suddenly the scale just didn't work, and it just didn't work, and that I heard the voice in my head say, "It's all an illusion." And of course, it just could have been me, just, oh, it's all an illusion. But it had an otherness to it. I was like, it is all an illusion. It was an awareness. And
Mm.
in that moment, I knew that I could keep stepping. I was never going to get the answer. But what was the answer I was looking for? And what did I want to agree with? And in that moment, I was like, did I step on this because I'm in joy and I can't wait? Or am I feeling obligated? I was like, definitely feel obligated. I was like, well, then how can this serve me? It's all an illusion anyway. And there's the perception of illusion that I'm buying into, but then there's the reality of illusion that it just doesn't matter. And I was like, am I healthy? Yes. Am I having a good time? Yes. Am I enjoying my yoga? Yep. Am I enjoying the food that I love to make? Yep. So what difference does it make in this moment? Will it bring you joy? No. Move on. Move on with your day. And then the next thing came up, I think I told you a couple days later, where I had another instance of this is all an illusion. I was stepped outside and I'm enjoying the falling of the leaves. And I'm just so in love with fall here in the States as opposed to your spring in Australia or your blossoming. And we're falling, we're letting go, and watching the leaves, and it's just big wind came by, and just it's just suddenly like fall just happened in that moment, and all the leaves are like, and we're gonna fall. Almost a little bit of a Harry Potter experience where it just shakes its leaves, where it's all falling. I was like, oh, this is really nice. And then I just had that wonderful sensation again. This is all an illusion, and like the tree knows to just let go, give it to God, let go and let God, let the universe take care of it. Because until it lets go, there's no room for regrowth. There is no room for the buds for the spring. And just to look at like you did, this beautiful illusion and be like, oh, I'm just enjoying the illusion. I'm enjoying it because it's not from a sense of disconnect. It's not from a sense of nihilism, right? It's not like, oh, it's all an illusion, so nothing matters. No, it makes everything richer. It's all an illusion, and I'm creating this, and I'm a part of this illusion, and I'm getting to experience as God as me is experiencing this beautiful illusion. What a gift! What a joy! What a delicious delight! As opposed to, it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter from a different feeling of it. I don't have to buy into it too deeply. I don't have to worry. I don't have to be in fear. I can be in love. And then the last thing that happened just a couple days ago was it's completely like a glitch in the system, in the matrix system. And I was singing online and I was having a wonderful time with an open mic. And I just happened to kind of blink. Just I looked down, I was playing the piano and I looked down and I think, was getting my finger, maybe like a fingernail or hangnail or something. I went like this and I just happened to close my eyes for a second and a whole system reboot seemed to happen behind my eyes. I could feel the glitch, and it was very much like something you would see in a movie, like flashing of a program like on a screen. And I opened my eyes and I felt it viscerally all over my body, and
Mm.
it went from my head to my toes. And I checked in to be like, did something go wrong? Am I okay? Did system malfunction for real? Like, did I have a mini stroke? Did something happen? And yet I felt wonderful. I felt absolutely like this bliss, like more in alignment, like an upgrade to the system, a system reboot, but that I had an upgrade, and I went, well, that was wonderful. And I'm still online, I'm still singing, other people were singing, and I came right back to what I was doing. But it was such an awareness that if I was not in consciousness, I would just assume something went wrong, that I might need to go to the doctor and get checked out. Something was wrong. But in consciousness, it was an evolutionary experience of the illusion, the reality of illusion, instead of just the perception of illusion. It was, wow, I'm having actual experiences as of letting this experience and this illusion and awareness
Mm.
go and evolve. So
Yep.
that's what's been happening with me. And so I don't know any of the viewers that might, if you are watching this, I would love any comments that you want to put. If you're having something like this happening in your life, or something you can't quite explain, or something you absolutely can explain, and that you are knowing that it's an awakening more
Mm.
than anything else, and you're with us on this, and you're like, yeah, this is amazing, because the whole point of all of it is to feel supported in your awakening and in the aligning of awareness on this earth, because loads of people are going through different levels of spiritual awakenings, and some of it's for sale, some of it's regurgitated material, some of it's really deeply amazing, some of it's really surface. And sometimes all you want is just validation and agreement with other people that are like, yeah, I'm going through it too. And it's a beautiful journey. And instead of being in fear, I'm
Mm.
going to go into love. And that's all that I can take through with me anyway. What do you think, Susie?
I absolutely agree. You reminded me, actually, I had a young male client come to me a while back, and he rang me. He said, I think there's something wrong with me. Can I get an appointment? I need to chat about something. And he came to me, and he was in quite a bit of fear because he thought he
Mm.
was going blind, because his vision kept fading in and out. And, I worked with him for a little bit, but he realized that it was just him waking up, that he was starting to see through the illusion. And what a beautiful experience that is. And he left, after speaking with me, on a high instead of in fear of his health. And, just to be able to get that little bit of guidance, to have somebody who's going through similar things, makes it okay for us. As humans, we want to have that agreement sometimes, or to see the parallels with others, to really reassure our mind, because as we go through this experience, it really is our mind that is getting disgruntled and shifted out of its place of sitting on the throne. So we are coming back into our heart space and out of the mind, and that does cause these beautiful, if not somewhat uncomfortable, sometimes frightening experiences in the physical world. So, yeah, this is, Malissia came together with me yesterday, and we were discussing this, and we thought, wow, if we're going through it, how many others are? And
Absolutely. And what's amazing is when we realize that ultimately, we're to evolve from and transcend and transform and alchemy, right? Alchemize our experience here. Depending on where you are in your own spiritual beliefs and practice and whatever called you and aligned you here with us, is that really awareness of, it's all God, and it's all growth, and it's all the experience of the divine as you experiencing itself in form, in separation, so it can come back into unity. We have to have relationships so we can experience ourselves. We have to have the outside world. We have to have the illusion. So, because if it was all just utopia and this soup of wonderful, you know, when I had a death experience, say, near death experience, but it was a death experience, I call it, because as I went into and I looked down at my body, and I'm in the sea of love, let's call it, this wonderful experience, and knowing that that's what we come from and go back to. There's no separating from that, the real space where we're really aligned in. And this is the play, this is the dream, this is the illusion we're playing in,
mm,
this is the gift. We dream the dream of form, right?
yeah.
So as we dream the dream of form, as God is us is playing in exponentially um, innumerable experiences and existences and expressions, and we're one of them. And as that one, and as that play, we also know what those who came before us, the sages and the prophets and the messiahs that came before us, that whether it was Buddha or Jesus or any of them, that realized they had to transcend their illusion and their form. And a lot of times we miss out on their teenage years. We miss out on this whole section of their life that is the struggle, is the struggle with the ego and the separation. And we get to where they're really coming out of it on the other end, and then it's, oh, and that's when everybody discovers them and the Christ consciousness, because they're glowing and they really have transcended their experience in their form. And then all those ones we never got to come across because maybe they didn't make it, because the ego tore them down, and they never made it through to that other side of themselves. And we were discussing this yesterday. It's like, when you're of the world and you're of ego, the illusion is extremely real. Of course it is. There's no denying that. But when you're just in the world and not of it, as Jesus said, as Buddha experienced, as
Mm.
so many others that transcended their experience, whether it was through like the 40 days and 40 nights, or the 3 days under the Bodhi tree, the experiences of, they finally fought themselves, their ego self, to the, as in the Bible, it would be called the devil, right? And then Mara, in Buddhism, where you are fighting that ego self, that said that everything coming at you, and it's really scary because you're transcending. But if you go ahead and you release the illusion and it's no longer in fear because you just surrender and you're just like, I'm
Mm,
not, whether it was Buddha that put his finger to the earth and said, I bear, the earth actually spoke. He just put his finger to the earth and the earth spoke for him and said, I bear you witness, because there's no fear anymore. He just
mm,
dissolved into love. And, Jesus become the love that is to the Christ consciousness so people just came up to him. What is it about you? What are you? What is it about you that I'm so attracted to your isness? And
mm,
as we are all becoming that, because you can do all that I have done and greater things, we are meant to become that, not just worship that and not just put the middleman in there and praise it. We're meant to praise it into ourselves. And
mm,
as we release the illusion and we really just allow ourselves the experience of more and
mm.
and how amazing it can be, and you surrender the fear and
Yeah.
you step into love, and you have no power over me anymore, ego. Like, it's dying, it's melting, it's fading away as you become your butterfly self that already exists within you,
Mm,
because it's just the transcendence of form. It's becoming more. And
yeah.
so much of our lives we don't allow it. So much of existence we haven't allowed it. And those that do break through, either they're few and far between and we uphold them guru style, or we never even really hear about them because they're so busy just being it, and then we're over here struggling.
Exactly.
So in case you're like us right now, where you're just like, oh, I'm just in the process of this beautiful unfolding and awakening,
Mm,
it's just a matter of support and
mm,
acknowledgement and validation that if you embrace it with love
mm.
and you embrace it from a place of what's on the other side and curiosity, the unknown, right? And you find your meditation and you just surrender the mind, that the mind is where the struggle is. So surrender the mind. And as you step into the beingness, what's possible? What
Mm.
does it feel like? Does it feel good?
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. And the whole struggle is the surrender of the mind. It's when we let go of the mind that we come into the isness, the presence, where, that beautiful experience you took us through at the beginning, where we connect to our true self. And that true self never leaves us. But we're so caught up in the mind and in the projections of mind, which appears as the outside world, that we forget who we are underneath. And the unbecoming of mind, the releasing of the mind, is the releasing of the fear. And it's where eternal freedom, where bliss, where abundance, where love just becomes our natural state. And it's so delicious. And it really is not thinking our way there, it's being our way there. It's coming into presence and human being. We're not doings, we're beings. Come back to the being. It's
Well,
beautiful.
and you can't teach this. Isn't that true too, Susie? What we're doing right now is not in any way teaching it. We may be sharing something that other teachers have come before us, messiahs, gurus, prophets, those who spoke before us, but they were also, it's not so much a teaching as an unfolding and awakening and awareness. It's more of a mirror. It's
Mm,
more of shedding light on who you are as you evolve. Just like you can't help a a butterfly in its chrysalis state. You can't take it out of its cocoon. You can't cut it early, otherwise its wings won't work.
mm,
So it's not so much a teaching as a space to come together and say, us too, and you too, and it's a safe space to say, just step into love, because the world's gonna say fear and
mm.
go back to your comfort zone, go back to what's familiar, stay there, stay small, stay in what's easy, because this can be hard and it can be really discouraging, even it can be extremely frightening, and it can be completely unknown.
Yeah,
But if you embrace the unknown with love, what's possible, what's on the other side? So embrace it from curiosity, just like a butterfly. Like, what will it be like to fly with these new wings? I've been crawling for a long time.
yeah,
So now as I return to my primordial soup of what's going on, and I'm about to emerge as something new, I can either shrink back in fear, going, I don't know if I'm ready for something new, or I can embrace it from a place of what's possible? How high can I fly? What's new? What can I experience? What's love out there now as the me that came here to be?
yeah. For me, it feels a little bit like, Christmas. It's really in that place of curiosity and excitement because I've tasted what isness is, and the whole opening up to more of it is just, it's a natural process, but I need to allow it. I need to accept it. And it's about, embracing that gift and letting it open, opening it up and enjoying what's available because of it.
That's beautiful. Well, thank you, Susie, and thank you everybody who joined us. I'm gonna say a little blessing over all of us as we are stepping into this new, sometimes radical space of being and isness that can, like I said, it can be scary, it's transformational, it can feel like the world and yourself is falling away. So as we embrace that, I'm just going to send a blessing over everybody who's listening with us today, knowing that everything is exactly as it needs to be. You'll have the support and love that best serve you. You'll have the environment that allows you to grow and chrysalis and evolve and emerge your beautiful awakened self in the perfect divine time. Everything is happening perfectly and beyond what you can see, beyond what is even perceivable. And as we surrender this illusion and we awaken to and embrace the curiosity of what's to come in the amazing unknown, we bring our heart and love with us. And we know that everything that comes through with us is our divinely beautiful, awakened, full love selves. And we simply release everything that no longer serves us. Thank you, thank you, thank you, sweet spirit. Thank you for everyone who joined us today. Thank you, Susie. Thank you for this time. Thank you for the presence of now and the awareness to even have this conversation. We are so grateful. And
Mm.
so it is.
Thank you, Malissia. Thank you all
Thank you.
for joining us.